I've read somewhere that education in institutions was started being imparted basically to train Indian citizens to get into government jobs. That was the only purpose at that time. I think we still have that kind of an attitude when we give education to the children. Lots of reforms have taken place, and the latest one is the right to education. Let me admit, I haven't read that yet, but still a glance through it in the newspaper reports. You know, whatever the education policy, the people who implement these policies are the teachers, and they require a supporting hand. That should be of parents. How many schools in this country have parents' involvement in running the school? I'm told many schools have parent-teachers associations. But what is the responsibility that the community is discharging in a local school? So, we are into democracy. It's more than 60 years now. In democracy, we have a three-tier system. We have the central government, the state government, and the local self-government. When we ask people, if you want to go to America, do you want to go to America? Many people say, yes, I would like to go to America. You ask them one more question, why do you want to go to America? They say, life is very comfortable there. They have good roads, beautiful malls. You can drive anywhere. There is no crowd. Everybody is happy. Good income. Don't you have any such thing in this country? Ask any children. Do you think that the country is great? I'll tell you, all the children with both their hands, they go up, yes, our country is great. But ask them one more question. Do you think our leaders are great? I don't think any hands will go up. So, this country is led down by the people who are leading. I feel that they should learn from the children. I have many such experiences. One experience I would like to share with you. As a journalist, I've gone with 3 Prime Ministers of India outside the country on their foreign trips. And one experience, it was during Rajiv Gandhi's prime. I loved him. He was the most handsome man. And I got an invitation to travel with him to Sweden. I was in the aircraft. While coming back after 5 days conference, there is a press conference of our then Prime Minister, late Mr. Rajiv Gandhi, and I went there. There was no place for me to sit. I was a bacha. So our senior journalists were sitting there, and they all talked to him at one-to-one level. They are all Delhi journalists. They knew him personally, and he knew them by name. I was the only journalist from down south. I was meeting the Prime Minister for the first time. I was all excited. And the press question and answer was going on. They were about to get up. Then I said, first time in my life I got an opportunity to talk to my Prime Minister. So I shouldn't waste it. I said, Mr. Prime Minister, I'm Ishwar from Bangalore. I have a question. He said, yes. I was so happy, the smiling face. I asked him a question. And we landed at Delhi. I went to my hostel, took an auto and reached there. And as I was reaching there, I asked at the hostel, said, do you have a room? They said, no room. Said, when can I get a room? That was a hostel, inexpensive lodging. Then I said, I don't have a booking. He said, you will have to wait until tomorrow morning at 10, or you better move out of this place. Look for accommodation elsewhere. I said, I do not know anybody in Delhi. Would you mind if I sit in your sofa? I'll keep my luggage here. Wait until tomorrow morning, then move out. He said, that's okay. I sat there. He went inside. It was midnight when I landed. It was around 2 a.m. He went inside, came out running. He said, are you the guy who is with the Prime Minister on the TV right now? I said, no, I'm sitting here. Those days we had only Doordarshan. He said, come. By the time I went there, That shot had been over, the 3 minutes visual bite. I saw it the next day. It was me asking question to Rajiv Gandhi and Rajiv Gandhi answering back. The 3-minute interaction had gone on Doordarshan. He said, you travelled with Rajiv Gandhi. And I felt so proud. ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರಲ್ಲ ತಲೆ ಮೇಲೆ ಕೋಡು ಬಂತು ಅಂತ, ಹಾಗೆ ಈ ದೇಶದ ಪ್ರೈಮ್ ಮಿನಿಸ್ಟರ್ನ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ ಮಾಡಿ ಇಡೀ ಜಗತ್ತಿಗೆ ಟೆಲಿವಿಷನ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಅದು ಪ್ರಸಾರ ಆಗಿದೆ ಅಂತ ಜಂಬದಲ್ಲಿ ನಾನಿದ್ದೆ. ಐ ವಾಸ್ ವೆರಿ ಪ್ರೌಡ್. ಲೇಟ್ ಆಫ್ಟರ್ 6 months, I had come down to my hometown. I was traveling in Beltangadi. I was going on a scooter. The scooter broke down. There was no help anywhere around and it was a remote village. Imagine 25 years ago. And I was wondering what to do. I kicked the scooter, pushed the scooter, it wouldn't move. Then finally I looked around. At a distance there was a hut. There is a young girl rolling beedies. She had a veil on her head. I went there. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಗರಾಜ್ ಎಲ್ಲಿದೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆಯಾ? She looked at me. Of course there is a garage 15 kilometers away in the town. Go there. And next to a hotel, she gave an exact description of the garage. I said, how do I go there? She said, catch a bus. There are plenty of buses going up and down. Got into the bus, went to Beltangadi, looked for the hotel, and next door there was a garage. But I was shocked, it was closed. I went to the hotel, I said, when does this garage open? He said, he has gone home for lunch and he will come back only at 5. I had no patience to wait until 5. I said, where is his house? He said, take a bus 15 kilometers away. There is one tree and there is a house. That is his house. I remember that's exact place where my scooter had broken down. Got into a bus. I was feeling so upset about that little girl. I thought, how is that she didn't tell me there is a mechanic right in that place, either her house or some next door houses. Then I came back, got down after 1.5 hours. She was still sitting there rolling the beedies. She smiled at me. I was furious and I asked her, you knew there is a mechanic here? Yes. He is my father. He had his lunch and sleeping at home. Why didn't you tell me? You saw me pushing the scooter, kicking it. Then I asked, he said, sir, what did you ask me? You asked for a garage. I directed you to the garage. If you had asked for a mechanic, I would have called my father. A journalist who felt proud of questioning the Prime Minister of the country, I felt ashamed of myself. I said, sorry, I will learn how to ask questions.
ಅತ್ಯಾಧುನಿಕ ಸೌಲಭ್ಯ ಹಾಗೂ ತಜ್ಞ ವೈದ್ಯರುಗಳೊಂದಿಗೆ ಕೈಗೆಟಕುವ ದರದಲ್ಲಿ ಅತ್ಯುತ್ತಮ ಸೇವೆಗೆ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕದಾದ್ಯಂತ ಹೆಸರುವಾಸಿಯಾಗಿರುವ ಆಸ್ಪತ್ರೆ ಮಂಗಳೂರಿನ ದೇರಳಕಟ್ಟೆಯ ಕೆಎಸ್ ಹೆಗ್ಡೆ ಆಸ್ಪತ್ರೆ. ಮಂಗಳೂರಿನ ದೇರಳಕಟ್ಟೆಯಲ್ಲಿರುವ ಕೆಎಸ್ ಹೆಗ್ಡೆ ಆಸ್ಪತ್ರೆ ಪ್ರಸ್ತುತಪಡಿಸುತ್ತಿದೆ ಅತ್ಯಾಧುನಿಕ ಸೌಲಭ್ಯಗಳುಳ್ಳ ಆಂಬ್ಯುಲೆನ್ಸ್, ವೆಂಟಿಲೇಟರ್, ಮಾನಿಟರ್, ಸಕ್ಷನ್, ಡಿಫ್ಯಾಬ್ರಿಲೇಟರ್, ಹ್ಯೂಮಿಡಿಫೈಯರ್, ಆಕ್ಸಿಜನ್, ಸಿರಿಂಜ್ ಪಂಪ್, ಕ್ಯೂರಿಕಲ್ ಕಾಲರ್, ಆಂಬು ಬ್ಯಾಗ್, ವ್ಯಾಕ್ಯೂಮ್ ಬ್ಯಾಗ್ಗಳನ್ನು ಹೊಂದಿರುವ ಅತ್ಯಾಧುನಿಕ ಸೌಲಭ್ಯವುಳ್ಳ ಈ ವಿಶೇಷ ಆಂಬ್ಯುಲೆನ್ಸ್ ದಿನದ 24 ಗಂಟೆಯೂ ರೋಗಿಗಳ ಸೇವೆಗೆ ಲಭ್ಯ. ಅದೇ ರೀತಿ ಅತ್ಯಾಧುನಿಕ ಸೌಕರ್ಯಗಳೊಂದಿಗೆ ಡಯಾಲಿಸಿಸ್ ಘಟಕವನ್ನು ಆರಂಭಿಸಲಾಗಿದೆ. ಯುನಿಟಿ ಹೆಲ್ತ್ ಕಾಂಪ್ಲೆಕ್ಸ್ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಸಿಪಿ ಹಬೀಬ್ ರೆಹಮಾನ್ ಅವರ ಮುಖ್ಯಸ್ಥಿಕೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕದ ಅಗ್ರ ಸ್ಥಾನದಲ್ಲಿರುವ ಆಸ್ಪತ್ರೆಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದಾಗಿದ್ದು, ಎಮರ್ಜೆನ್ಸಿ ಸರ್ವಿಸ್ಗೆ 1055707ಕ್ಕೆ ಕರೆ ಮಾಡಿ ಶೀಘ್ರ ಚಿಕಿತ್ಸೆಯನ್ನು ಪಡೆಯಬಹುದಾಗಿದೆ. ಯುನಿಟಿ ಹೆಲ್ತ್ ಕಾಂಪ್ಲೆಕ್ಸ್, ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟ್ ಲೈಫ್. An ISO 9001:2000 certified hospital, Falni Road, Mangalore.